Hello everyone, and welcome to this pick a card reading, which is all about what you aren't seeing or what is in your blind spot. I will be using the Rider-Waite tarot deck to do all of the readings, but to pick the one that's right for you, I will ask you to look at these 4 crystals. Choose the one that is calling out to you and use the timestamps in the bottom section or in the description section to receive your reading. The spread is from witchesandpagans.com. I will link to it also in the description section. But now let me show you these crystals in a bit more detail. So firstly, over here, we have a piece of rose quartz. This is group number 1. Next to that, we have a piece of orange calcite. This is group number 2. Then group number 3, this is a piece of pink and black rhodonite. And then lastly, group number 4, we have the purple amethyst. Pause the video if you need to have a little bit of a think about which crystal is yours, and then jump ahead to your reading when you're ready. Welcome group number 1 with the rose quartz. I'm now going to draw 5 cards that will tell us about your blind spot. Then I will tidy this table up and begin the reading. So I wasn't intending on doing this, but I've had the urge to also use the Tarot Egiptico, which is a Spanish language tarot deck that has Egyptian motifs. I've had the urge to also use the Tarot Egiptico and to pull a card that will tell us the overall theme of this reading. So let's have a look. All right, so we have Rivalidad. So it seems that your question is something to do with a rivalry. All right, now let's get some insights into that. So card number 1 is, what would you rather see, or how are you interpreting the situation currently? We have the 5 of Swords, and instantly I'm having the idea that someone, possibly your adversary in the situation, has said to you, you're in the wrong, don't even try to fight this further, you don't have a case. So 5 is about volatility, the swords are about the mind, ideas, maybe worry. And you can see here on this card, there's one person who seems victorious, he's taking all of the swords, and the other people are walking away. This person over here seems as if he's crying. So it seems to me that the way you have been told to interpret this rivalry is you don't even have a case. Like, don't even try to fight against me. If it's something legal, you've been told, don't even think about bringing a challenge to court. You could never win. But what are you failing to see? Let's have a look here. King of Pentacles. So if this is something to do with assets, I think someone is trying to take something from you. But I think this card is saying the things that you have, so whether it's money, whether it's a house, the pentacles usually are about something material or tangible. So I think it's something that you have. And this person over here, the 5 of Swords, that the person with the 5 of Swords, they're trying to say, I am entitled to what you think is yours. So I'm not sure if it's maybe like something to do with a will, but they're trying to claim your property or your possession, and they're saying, I'm entitled to it, don't even think about fighting me, you are not the right owner of it, or you're not entitled to it. But that's actually not true. That's what they're saying to you, that's what they would like you to believe, but actually this asset is yours and you are entitled to it and to have the benefit of it for many years to come. So card number 3 is, why do I fail to see it? Oh, interesting. So we have the Seven of Swords here. Yeah, so I think it's that this person is being sneaky. So we see these two cards are very similar. So this card, the Seven of Swords, is about deceit. So if you were signing a contract or doing any negotiation and this card came up, I would always say be very careful, read the contract, the devil is in the details, as they say. Do your background check on who you're dealing with. They're being deceitful. So yeah, very clearly you've got these two swords surrounding you or flanking you. This person here, this person with the swords, your rival, they're lying to you, they're trying to manipulate you, they're trying to deceive you. If they're showing you evidence to support their argument, they're only showing you selective evidence. So maybe if they're showing you like text messages, for instance, they're only showing you certain text messages that prove their point, and they're not showing you the full conversation. If you were to see the full conversation, you would say, well, hey, hang on, you left a lot out that actually proves my side. So yes, it seems that this person is lying to you and deliberately deceiving you to try to get their hands on your asset. So card number 4, why should I start to see this, or why should I try to see this? This is a very consistent reading. So over here we have the Queen of Pentacles, who mirrors the King of Pentacles. So it's just reaffirming this asset that these people are trying to get their hands on. It's yours. I feel that it was from your grandparents. I feel that it's maybe like a small farm. So if you are an immigrant, for instance, this would be a farm that your grandparents had. I think maybe if your grandparents have passed away, it's now supposed to come into your possession, or it has come into your possession. But there are other people who are lying to you saying, oh no, it's not yours, you're not entitled to inherit it. But if we look here at the King and Queen of Pentacles, they're comfortable, they're older people, maybe like middle age or maybe retirement age. It's supposed to be about living comfortably, reaping the rewards of your hard work, now having a peaceful life. And you see they have grapevines over here and some blossoms over here. So this asset that they have, it's supposed to bring them like peace and security, a bit of stability. So yeah, it's a very consistent reading. It is yours. It is meant to be yours. I think it passed fairly onto you, and you've got someone around you who is lying and trying to put doubts in your head, so they can steal it from you. So finally, how can you incorporate this new information into your world? A very consistent reading. So now we have the Ten of Pentacles. This is sometimes called the retirement card. So you can see the person here has white hair, so they're elderly. This is supposed to be, their house. 10 is about completion or endings, so that's why it's often the retirement card. And this is supposed to be the person at home with their family, their pets, all their wealth around them, all these grapes that we see here. Just enjoying their retirement and having a comfortable retirement, knowing that they have money in the bank. They don't need to worry about that. So yeah, very consistent reading. Definitely stand your ground. If someone has been saying to you, you're not entitled to this asset or you got it unfairly, really examine that and see, besides this one person who has been very vocal and has been trying to say this to you, besides them, is there any evidence? Has anyone else said, is there anything else to suggest that this asset is not yours? And I think you'll find no, there isn't. So this one person, they're lying to you because they're trying to take something from you and have it for themselves, but there's no basis to what they're saying. So be confident that what you have legally, rightfully. And I think they're trying to manipulate you to do something. I think it's not something they can forcefully take from you. I think it's something you have to give up willingly. So they're trying to make you feel guilty or ashamed or afraid. They're trying to put it in your head, because only if you think, oh no, I've stolen something, or oh no, I don't deserve to have that thing. I feel so bad. I have to give it away to make amends. Only if you think that will you willingly give this asset away? And that is the only way that this other person can get their hands on it. So have courage, have conviction. You've done nothing wrong. What is yours rightfully. You don't need to do anything. So also these pentacle cards, you can see the people are quite stable, quite stationary. They're not going anywhere. So you don't need to do anything. So maybe just don't speak to this person anymore. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to file any paperwork. You don't need to write anything down. You don't need to get anything registered. I mean, well, when I say you don't need to write anything down, good maybe to have evidence of what this person is trying to do. But in terms of you taking some kind of action, you don't need to do anything. This asset is yours. You don't need to engage with this person. You don't need to do anything they're telling you to do. Yeah, unpleasant situation, but this is probably the most consistent reading I've ever done. Please let me know if that resonated with you, and I wish you all the best with the situation. Welcome, group number 2 with the orange calcite. So I'm going to pull 5 cards that will make up your reading. I will also use 1 card from the Tarot Egiptico. So that is a Spanish language tarot which has Egyptian motifs, and I will use that to get an idea of the situation I'm reading about. One moment. Let's have a look at the Tarot Egiptico. Let's see what this reading is about. El Triunfo. So this reading is about triumph or success. So it's about you wanting to reach a goal and be successful. And we're going to get more insight to that with our other 5 cards. So card number 1, we're going to ask, what would you rather see, or how are you interpreting the current situation? Very nice. So we have triumph and justice. So you believe in a rightful outcome. So triumph, if this is something being awarded in your favor. So although here this could look like a court setting because the person here has the scales, it doesn't necessarily have to be a legal battle. I think I'm seeing something about talent and natural sportsmanship. So I'm really seeing some kind of competition and some kind of like physical competition, and you think it's only right or it's only natural that you will win, that you will be victorious. I think you believe that you have done the work, that you're naturally the most gifted or the most able in this scenario, and it's right that you would come out on top. But we are asking about the blind spot. So card number 2 is, what are you failing to see? Oh wow, this is a very good reading. So you have the 10 of Cups. So the 10 of Cups, the 10s is about completion or an ending. This is sometimes called the happily ever after card. You can see there's a rainbow, everyone is celebrating. I think the only potential downside here is maybe you are focusing on your end result to the exclusion of everything else. So maybe in your mind you're saying, I'm going to win, I'm going to be number 1, I'm going to break all these records, I'm going to be most successful, I'm going to be the figurehead or the spokesperson for this sport or for this achievement. You're so focused on the end result. But I think there are some like practical or mundane steps that you have to take along the way that maybe are not as fun or not as glamorous, but they're really important things that you need to do that maybe you're overlooking. So for example, after you exercise, I know you're meant to stretch, you're meant to warm up and cool down, and that's very important to prevent injury. But if you're like, I can't be bothered stretching, it's so boring, and you don't do it, you think, oh, not worth my time. Okay, maybe it's not, the fun part, maybe it's not as exciting, but it is a really important step. So if you're just focusing on the end result, but you're not putting in the practical steps to get you to that end result, that could be to your detriment. Let's get a bit more information. Card number 3 is, why do I fail to see this? So here we have the Hierophant. This card is, it could be a religious leader. Sorry, I seem to be losing my voice. It's about authority, convention, tradition. I feel this is maybe like a coach, or maybe let's say like a father figure. And this person has really been saying to you, you're number one, you're going to win, you're the best. It's impossible that it could be anything else. And certainly it's very good that this person is supporting you. We all need, our cheerleaders in our lives. But again, I think this person has just been putting this mantra into your head that you're number one, you're going to win, and not really focusing on, well, what are the practical steps that we need to do to get there? And also, don't underestimate your enemy, or don't underestimate your opponent, especially if you're doing something at a professional level. Everyone that's competing at that level is qualified and capable. So as much as you're training, as much as you're disciplined, as much as you're hungry to win, if it's at a really high level, everyone is training, everyone is determined, everyone is talented. So don't underestimate your enemy. You might be in for a nasty surprise. So card number 4 is, why should I see this? So card number 4, we have the 3 of Cups. And instantly I'm noticing that this is a smaller number. Before that you had 2 of the major arcana. You had a 10, so a completion. This is the lowest number that you've had, but it's a celebration card. So 3, it's a cup of it's a card of celebrating, rejoicing, and maybe having a party. I think it's more about sort of being more realistic. Definitely, you can win. I think it's just advising you, don't be arrogant. Don't let your ego get the better of you and spoil things with you. Don't think, oh, I'm so good, I don't need to do my warm-up exercises. I'm so good, I don't need to do that. Or I don't even have to try. The competition is so inferior, I don't even have to put in 100%. Don't let the ego get the better of you. If you just maybe humble yourself a little bit, or maybe, I don't want to say ground yourself, that's not quite right, but just maybe get out of your head a little bit. I feel this Hierophant character has really been telling you you're amazing, you can fly to the moon and back. They maybe exaggerated a little bit about how easy it would be for you to win. And certainly you are very talented, you are very capable. But maybe just be a little bit more humble, maybe a little bit more like good sportsmanship. Like, I think the way you're going at the moment, you risk being a little bit bratty, and it's not good to be a sore loser, but it's not good to be a sore winner either. So it's just asking you to be a little bit more humble, have a little bit more respect for the competition, but definitely still a good outcome for you. Definitely you are talented enough, you absolutely have put the effort in, you do have things to be proud of. So now, card number 5 is, how can you integrate this new information into your life? Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so Queen of Pentacles is, you can see, quite comfortable. She has all these blossoms around her at the top. Pentacles are about tangible things, practical things, the physical world. So Queen of Pentacles, I think it's just putting you back on track. So again, you are talented, you are accomplished, you have all of those things, but don't let the ego spoil it. I think also in terms of people working with you, in terms of maybe like sponsorship deals, or maybe networking opportunities, you can be amazing at what you do, but if you're a really difficult person to be around, you're a very unpleasant, very arrogant, obnoxious person, people won't want to do business with you. So I think that if you just a bit more humble, a bit more professional, maybe aren't shouting about how good you are every second, I think you could have even more legacy and even more longevity beyond your professional pursuit, beyond your let's say like record breaking. In terms of later on sponsorships, being a spokesperson, maybe doing some charity work, there are more opportunities for you, lots of steady income, a peaceful life, a happy life, if you are just a little bit nicer to be around. Alrighty, I hope that was insightful for you. Please let me know if it resonated with you. Let me know if you want to incorporate any of this into your life. Thank you very much, and maybe I will see you next time. Welcome group number 3 with the piece of Rhodonite. I'm now going to pull 5 cards that will tell us about what is in your blind spot. But additionally, I'm going to use 1 card from the Tarot Egiptico. So this is a Spanish language tarot deck which has Egyptian motifs, and that's going to give us the situation that we're doing the reading about, and then we'll go in more detail with these 5 cards. So just one moment, I'll be right back. All right, so let's have a look at the Tarot Egiptico. Let's see what this reading is about. So we have Resurrection. So this is, I think, something that you thought was over, maybe something where you lost hope. So it could be reuniting with someone who you haven't seen in a long time, or maybe if you had a dream of, I don't know, you wanted to travel somewhere, or you wanted to work somewhere, and you thought, oh, well, I can't do that, it's over. This is telling you that there's a second chance, but let's have a look at the other cards and let's get more information. So card number 1 is, what would you rather see? Here we have the King of Swords. King of Swords can be about being stubborn. So I think maybe you've gotten used to a certain routine, or you've given up on certain ideas, and I think you're saying, you know what, this is how my life is now. It's very regimented, it's predictable, this is it. You've kind of gotten into a routine, and this is it for you. Whether you're exactly comfortable, I would say you're comfortable. Maybe it's not the happiest that you could be, maybe it's not the most fulfilled, but you are resigned to the life that you have. And I don't think it's a bad life. I think I don't mean to speak ill of your life, but I think maybe you had ideas before of doing something else, but along the way, for whatever reason, you said, you know what, it's not doable. I'm going to just put those things out of my mind. And instead of always reaching and wondering and wanting these other things, I'm just going to resign myself to the life that I have, and it is good enough. I have peace, and that certainly counts for something. Now, card number 2 is, what are you failing to see? So we have the Empress here. So the Empress, that is number 3, which is creativity and expansion. Also the Empress, you can see she's very comfortable. She's got all these cushions. She's got what looks like wheat growing around her in the background. It's nice and green. So the Empress is really a card of luxury, living a good life, being pampered, being really happy, relaxed. So I think this is saying there is an opportunity for you. I feel that it's something very, very close to you, either something very easy to do or something physically very close to you, that if you make this change, you could have this comfortable, happy, relaxed lifestyle. But it's about whether or not you acknowledge it or accept it. So as the expression goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So I feel with the King of Swords here, you've resigned yourself to the way things are. And should you acknowledge or accept that there's a change you could make, you could very easily have the life of the Empress. So we see here with the King, there isn't so much growth in the background if we look down at his feet, whereas compared to the Empress and all the trees she has in the background and so forth. So you could very easily make the change to be the Empress, but the swords are about the mind and ideas. So do you think that you can? Do you think that this is possible for you? And it's really your mind and your beliefs that are just setting the limits here. So now let's have a look at card number 3, which is, why am I failing to see this? So we have the Death card. Death doesn't have to literally mean death. It can just mean the ending of something. So for instance, the end of like a contract at work, for instance, and a new beginning. So as I said, death doesn't have to literally mean death, but I do think that someone left your life. I am getting around 14, 15. There is like the number 13 here on the death card, but for some reason I'm hearing like 14, 15, 16. So whether it was in like 2014 to 2016, whether it was when you were around 13 years old, but someone left your life at this time. And this was the person that really encouraged you to pursue your dreams. So something over here with the Empress, they were really supportive and encouraging. They were the kind of person that said, oh, you can be anything you want to be. I think you were hesitant, but I think this person really did a lot to encourage you. I think maybe you didn't have so much self-confidence, so you were like, really? Like, I can do that? And this person was like, yes, of course you can. They were the one person that really believed that you could go above and beyond. Whereas I feel that other people in your life were like, you're just going to have a normal life. You're just going to, go to high school and you're just going to get a regular job just like everyone else. And like, that's it. Stop dreaming. Get your head out of the clouds. I feel you just had this one other person that was saying, no, like there's a bigger world out there and there are other opportunities and you can do it. You can take those opportunities. But I see that this person left your life, again, whether it was between either something around your age being like 14 to 16 or whether it was in like 2014, 2016, something with those numbers. I just suddenly see an emptiness. I can't say that they passed away. I don't exactly see that, but they just weren't there anymore. And I feel that you were a little bit sad, and because you weren't the most self-confident or the most self-assured person, once this person left, you didn't have the self-esteem to tell yourself that, yes, I can do that. So you sort of fell into line with the other people around you who's saying, you're just going to be average, you're just going to be normal like the rest of us. So card number 4 is, why should I try to see this? So why should I try to see the Empress? So here we have the 5 of Pentacles. So 5s is about temporary unsteadiness or some volatility. And 5s is about material things. So this could be like some temporary financial issues, or I'm seeing something with the house. I'm seeing that you have to move house, something with either something to do with renting. For whatever reason you have to move, like the landlord wants you to move for whatever reason. But I'm seeing some kind of damage to the house. For some reason I'm seeing there's some damage to the house and you have to get out. And physically having to move is making you reassess, okay, well, where do I live? Where can I work? How easy is it to commute to work? If I had to take kids to school, do I move somewhere close to the kids' school? And there's something about moving that really makes you reassess your life and makes you remember the Empress and the things that you wanted to do. So I don't know if it's something to do with real estate. I don't know if moving house kind of like jogs a memory about something you wanted to do in real estate. There's something about convenience. I'm seeing when you move, there's something about, well, that place is on the way. So if, let's say that you wanted to take dance classes, if you have to move house and in your new house, you're like, well, there's that dance studio. It's on the way to work. I pass it every single day when I go to work. So why don't I take those dance classes? I mean, it would be so easy. It would be like on my way home from work to stop and do that. So yeah, I think it's kind of like the stars are aligning and there's something that you wanted to do again when you were like a teenager that now it is very easy to do logistically. So either something is again on the way to work, whether it's like your neighbors, your new neighbors, let's say you wanted to do something and your neighbor is like, oh, I do that thing, or like I know someone who can get you in. So it's like, well, the opportunity is there, just take it. It's a very easy opportunity to take. And the Empress here, she looks very comfortable, very successful. If you just say yes and take the opportunity, your life could be, bigger and better, and you could be happier very easily. Okay, so now let's look at the final card, which is, how can I incorporate this new information into my world? So we have the 5 of Wands. So again, 5s is about volatility. The ones are about people, negotiations, maybe traveling. This sometimes is a card of miscommunication. So I feel these other people around you that have said, oh, you can't do that, just have a normal life, like you're too old to do that thing now, or you're not talented enough to do that thing. I feel that they are still around you, and unfortunately when you announce, hey, I want to do this thing again, they're going to be like, not again, like we thought you'd settle down and accepted your fate, like the King of Swords over here. Not this again. So unfortunately, I think these people are naysayers, but you have to, I would say, don't even bother telling them. Like, my advice is, if this tarot reading has inspired you or given you hope to pursue this thing again, just go ahead and do it. You don't need to tell anyone. You don't need to argue with them. You certainly don't need their permission. I think you're an adult now. You can do whatever you like. Yeah, so if you want to do that thing, even just try it out, because if you try something and you don't like it, you can always just say no. So let's say if you go to one dance class, if you love it, of course, keep going. But if you go and you're like, oh, not for me, you don't have to go again. You haven't lost anything. There's no damage done. And I would advise you, at least initially when you're just starting out, just don't tell these people that you're trying it or you're considering it, because they will just argue with you. Like, they're not even going to try to see it from your point of view. They're not even going to see the benefits for you. They're just very stuck in their way. You've got to pick and choose your fights. It's just not worth the hassle for you to tell them. So yeah, just this thing that you want to do, give it a go. It looks like it will naturally fall into your lap. It looks as if there's going to be some kind of volatility here. But you know, from crisis, opportunity, that will make this dream really possible or really easy logistically. Do it, take that opportunity, and you don't need to tell everyone. But yeah, it looks as if like you could very quickly have a lot of success and happiness in this thing that you've wanted to do for quite some time now. Alrighty, I hope that was useful for you. Let me know if it resonates, and I do wish you all the best if you choose to pursue this endeavor. Thank you very much. Group number 3. Welcome, group number 4, with the piece of Amethyst. So I'm now going to pull 5 cards to give us an insight into what you're not seeing, but I'm also going to use one of the cards from the Tarot Egiptico pack. So this is a Spanish language tarot deck with Egyptian motifs, and it will give us the overall theme of the situation. One moment, let me tidy this up and I will be right back. So here are your 5 cards, but now let's have a look at the Tarot Egiptico and let's see what this matter is about. Triunfo, or triumph. So this is, I really feel, about willpower. It's really about you wanting to win something, wanting to triumph and come out victorious. So now let's look at the other cards to get some more insight. So card number 1 is going to tell us, what would you rather see, or how would you prefer to interpret this situation? All right, we have the 7 of Pentacles. So I think you're hoping for a fair outcome. So you see this person is toiling away, planting these seeds here and watching them grow and flourish. 7 is really about like introspection and personal development. So I think that you're hoping for a just and fair outcome. You think, if I do the work, people will see that I have done the work and I will be rewarded accordingly, or people will have, you know, a good opinion of me. If you're entering some kind of competition, you feel that if you just do the work, it will speak for itself and you will win the competition. But what are you failing to see? Let's have a look at card number 2. Yes, unfortunately. So the Hierophant, can be about tradition, it can be about public speaking, it can be a figure of authority, like the Hierophant. So I feel that there's someone, I don't exactly see it like a judge in a formal competition. I see it more as like someone influential, like a village elder or like a pillar of the community. someone influential, respected, and I think you need to be on their good side. So I think what it is that you're going to be judged on, it's not just as you think that if you work hard and you have a good attitude and you're honest, then you will be rewarded accordingly. Unfortunately, I think there is also an element of there's this person who is influential. I think they influence the influencers. So if there's like a judge or a decision maker, this person has their ear. So like, let's say this is you. Let's say like this is the person who can notice you and reward you, but they're kneeling down and listening to this person. So even though this person maybe doesn't formally have a title of they're the judge or they're the hiring manager or they're the mayor, even though they don't have this official title, unofficially they are a really respected community elder. Their words are influential. So unfortunately, if you want to be rewarded, you need this person to think well of you. You need this person to speak well of you. So I think you need to cross paths with them. They need to, if they are like the local priest, for instance, they need to see you in church and you need to be like, oh, that was a wonderful sermon. You're so intelligent. You're so insightful. You need to do a little bit of that, unfortunately, for this person to think well of you and to speak well of you to this person who can reward you. Okay, so card number 3 is, why do I fail to see it? So don't worry, the death card doesn't literally mean death. It usually just means the ending of something. But I'm seeing something interesting. So here on the death card, so death comes for all of us. So here you see we have young people, old people, we have a king, we have beggars, even the Pope here. So death comes to us all. It's the great leveler. But we have the Pope here, and then we have the Hierophant, who is akin to a Pope. So I think it's like the same, in this reading, I'm getting that it's the same person on both cards. So this person, this influential, unofficial community leader, community influencer, somewhere in the past, they did something really good. So metaphorically speaking, let's say they stopped death or like they stopped the plague. They, in the past, did something really selfless or really beneficial for the community, maybe even for you personally. I feel maybe they gave like a large donation and that helped your family as well. I don't know, maybe they gave like advice or guidance that was very useful. So this person is seen as like really benevolent, like they just want what's best for everyone. They're so selfless. And I don't think anyone really sees they're actually a little bit conniving, like they know how to use their power and they know if I like someone, I'm gonna make or break their opportunities. Yeah, I think everyone, especially if they are like a pope, for instance, everyone thinks, oh no, like a pope couldn't be deceitful or couldn't be a bad person. They're a man of the church. They're a good person, a benevolent person. It's like, you don't know what lurks beneath. I think there is some meanness, some conniving, some scheming, some power playing, and you're not aware, and no one is aware because they really hide behind their good public image. No one is really aware of how scheming they are. Card number 4 is, why should I see this? The Magician. So the Magician is really about you being in control of your own destiny, you having the power to influence things. So you'll see the Magician, they have all 4 suits on the table. They've got a wand, a sword, a cup, and a chalice. So those are the 4 suits of the tarot. It represents the 4 elements. He's got like the wand, he's pointing you up and down, like as above, so below. Magicians, maybe like an alchemist, can transmutate things. And also it's one, it's about power of one, singularity, beginnings. If you can conceptualize something, if you imagine it, then you can manifest it. So once you realize how the game is played, then you can play. So once you realize, like this person, they're really the decision maker, then really start paying attention to them and see, okay, so how can I get on their good side? And they'll tell you, I think this person, the Hierophant is really a card about like orthodoxy and convention. So this person is very outspoken about what they think is right or what they think is good or how things should be done. So if you just pay a bit of lip service, just play the game, and if they say, I think this is a good thing, you should be like, yes, I agree, that absolutely is a good thing. And really show yourself doing what they want. Like, I really have to stress, you have to just show. You have to just put on a show. It's not about what you actually believe. It's about doing the performance to make this person think well of you, because, hey, they're scheming, they're conniving, they're pulling the strings. So don't feel bad. You play the game as well. So if they say they like a particular something, I'm going to use this as a silly example. If they like the table set a certain way, if they like the cup on the left side of the table, it's a silly example. Regardless of what you actually believe, if they're making a big thing about, oh, it's right to have the cup on the left side, you'd be like, yes, I completely agree. I always put the cup on the left. I'm so happy that you and I see eye to eye. Even if that's not what you actually think, just put on the show. Look as if you agree with this person, because they will find you agreeable. They will warm to you. And then I think just slide gently into conversation that, well, I'm working on this thing, which I've entered this competition. I'm working towards this thing. Just bring it to their attention. Certainly don't be like, I have to win. Like, I would love to win. It would be everything if I could win. It would be everything if I could be recognized. Don't be so obvious, but just bring it to their attention after you've said, yes, I agree with you, and that's such a great idea. Yes, you're so clever. You're so right. By the way, I've entered this competition, and that's just something I like to do in my spare time. Just bring it to their attention. I think that is the winning strategy. And if they like you, they will put two and two together, and they'll be like, hey, I like this person. I'm going to put in a good word for them, and that will sway the official, or on paper, shall we say, the on-paper decision maker to reward you accordingly. Alrighty, so card number 5 is, how can you integrate this new information into your life? Oh, good. So here we have the Fool. So that's not to say that I'm calling you a fool, but the Fool is about new beginnings. It's about being carefree. So you can see that he's just, prancing along here, not a care in the world. So in terms of how to integrate this information, I think you, in the past, have been working diligently towards what you want, and just being very sort of unassuming, maybe a little bit naive, and just thinking, well, I just need to work, and my effort will be self-evident and I'll be rightfully rewarded. Now I'm telling you that actually it's a little bit of a cerebral game. It's about who really has the power, who is it that really will be making the decisions. Unfortunately, ingratiate yourself with them. I know ideally that's not how it should be. You should be rewarded on the merits of your work. Unfortunately, a lot of the time that's not the way it goes. But now you have that information. You can be the master of your own destiny. You know what to do. You know who's the key player that you need to speak to and get on your good side. Once you do that, I think things will be much smoother for you. So as you can see, the Fool prancing along, completely oblivious. So yeah, it will open doors for you if you just make the right connection here and just get the right opinion or a good opinion from the one person whose opinion really matters. I think it will be smooth sailing for you, and all the things that you've been toiling towards, you will get them much faster, much easier. You will really find, if you've had like a stagnant period in your life, that things will start to move on for the better. Okay, I hope that was insightful for you, Group 4. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if you intend to implement this advice, and I wish you all of the best.